The Salton Sea was California's Riviera. Frank Sinatra. The Beach Boys, yacht clubs, 1.5 million visitors every year, luxury resorts lining the beaches. They called it the miracle in the desert. Then the water turned toxic. The fish died. All of them. The tourists left, the resorts collapsed, everyone abandoned it. Except 400 people, who still live there. In rotting houses, breathing poisonous air. Surrounded by millions of fish skeletons. This is the Salton Sea. California's biggest environmental disaster. That no one talks about. The Salton Sea wasn't supposed to exist. Engineers trying to bring Colorado River water to Imperial Valley. A canal broke. Water flooded the desert. For 2 years. Created a lake, 15 miles wide, 35 miles long. In the middle of the California desert. An accident, but developers saw opportunity. California's Riviera. The desert playground. Build resorts, sell paradise. And for 20 years it worked. 1950s and 60s. The Salton Sea was the place to be. More visitors than Yosemite. Yacht clubs. Marina. Speedboat races. Frank Sinatra owned property here. The Beach Boys filmed here. Sonny Bono was a regular. Luxury hotels, the North Shore Beach and Yacht Club. Golf courses, housing developments. 5,000 people living the dream. Developers built an entire city, Salton City, planned for 40,000 residents, streets laid out, infrastructure ready. The future looked golden. Then the sea started dying, and nobody could stop it. The problem was simple. The Salton Sea has no outlet. Water flows in, from agricultural runoff, from the New and Alamo rivers. But nothing flows out. Water only leaves through evaporation, leaving behind salt, and pesticides, and fertilizers. Every chemical farmers used in Imperial Valley, all of it concentrated in the Salton Sea. Year after year, getting more toxic. 1970s, the fish started dying. Not some, all of them. Picture this. You wake up in your Salton Sea beach house, walk outside. The beach is white, not with sand, with dead fish. Millions of them, piled 3 feet high, rotting in the desert heat. The smell is unbearable. This happened every summer. Mass die-offs. The oxygen levels in the water dropped. Fish suffocated, all at once. Tilapia, corvina, croaker, dead. Tourists stopped coming. Who wants to swim in a lake full of corpses? 1980s. Everyone left. The yacht clubs closed. The marinas abandoned. The luxury hotels emptied. Frank Sinatra sold his property. 5,000 residents became 500. Then 100. The developers who built Salton City gave up. Streets to nowhere. Fire hydrants in empty desert. Sidewalks with no houses. A ghost city that was never a city. Just infrastructure. Waiting for people who never came. And the ones who stayed, they couldn't afford to leave. Trapped in paradise turned hell. Drive to the Salton Sea today. The beaches are white, not sand, fish bones, millions of skeletons, crushed into powder, blow in the wind like snow. The water is brown, thick with algae, salt concentration higher than the ocean, 50% saltier, nothing can live in it. The abandoned buildings, North Shore Yacht Club, roof caved in, Bombay Beach, houses half collapsed. Salton City, streets crumbling, no one there. It looks like a nuclear apocalypse. But it's not radiation, it's just neglect. 400 people still live here, not tourists, not developers, survivors. Most are retirees, living on fixed incomes. Bought property in the 1960s when it was cheap, now it's worth nothing. Houses sell for $5,000, can't give them away. Some are artists, drawn to the apocalyptic beauty, painting the ruins, photographing the decay. Some are just stubborn, refuse to admit the dream died, and some have nowhere else to go. Living at the Salton Sea is killing them. The air quality is among the worst in America. Toxic dust blows off the dried lake bed, contains pesticides, heavy metals, arsenic, selenium, DIT, breathe it every day. Asthma rates, 5 times the national average. Cancer rates, elevated. Childhood asthma, Epidemic levels. The schools nearby have inhalers in every classroom. Kids can't go outside when the wind blows. Respiratory disease, skin conditions from the water, and the smell. Hydrogen sulfide gas, smells like rotten eggs. Toxic in high concentrations, people living there are used to it. Visitors get headaches within an hour. Every few years, California announces a plan to fix the Salton Sea. Restore it, clean it, make it livable again. Every plan fails. Plan 1. Import ocean water. Cost, $9 billion. Would take 20 years. Never funded. Plan 2. Build treatment plants. Cost, $4 billion. Would reduce salinity by 10%. Not enough. Never built. Plan 3. Let it dry up completely. Consequence, 400 square miles of toxic dust. Worst air quality disaster in U.S. history. Rejected. The truth is simpler. It's too expensive to fix. And not enough people care. It's not just humans. The Salton Sea sits on the Pacific Flyway. 400 species of birds migrate through here. More than anywhere else in California. They stop to rest, eat the fish, drink the water, and die. Avian botulism outbreaks. Thousands of birds dead in a single event. 2022. 2,000 pelicans died in 1 week. Poisoned by the water. The photos are heartbreaking. White pelicans, cormorants, eared grebes piled on the beaches. This happens every year, and there's nothing anyone can do. Because the birds keep coming. They don't know the sea is dead. The Salton Sea economy is post-apocalyptic. Bombay Beach, population 295, median income $18,000 per year. Poverty rate, 45%. No grocery store, no gas stations, no hospital. The nearest hospital is 45 minutes away. If you have a heart attack here, you die. Property values, negative. Houses literally given away. 2019, house sold for $850. 2023, another for $900. A house for less than rent in LA. Because no one wants to live in a toxic wasteland. The only economy? Salvage. People scavenge abandoned buildings, sell the copper, the metal, anything of value, then the buildings collapse. Weirdly, the Salton Sea has become a tourist destination. Not for beaches, for ruins, urban explorers, photographers, filmmakers. Come to document the decay. It's been in movies. The Postman 1997, Into the Wild 2007. Music videos, art installations. There's even an annual event, Bombay Beach Biennale, art festival in the ruins. Celebrates the apocalyptic beauty, thousands of visitors. For 1 weekend. Then they leave. Back to civilization. While the 400 residents stay. In the decay. New development. The Salton Sea sits on one of the largest lithium deposits in the world. Lithium, used in electric car batteries. Worth billions. Companies want to mine it. California approved permits. They say it could create 20,000 jobs, revitalize the area. But there's a problem. Lithium extraction requires water. The Salton Sea is already dying from lack of water. And the extraction process creates toxic waste, more pollution. The residents are skeptical. They've heard promises before. The developers in the 1950s promised paradise. Look what happened. The Salton Sea is California's Chernobyl. Both were disasters. Both toxic. Both evacuated. But there's a difference. Chernobyl happened in 1 day. Reactor explosion. Everyone fled. The Salton Sea died slowly, over 40 years, and people watched it happen. Governments knew. Scientists warned. Nobody acted. Because Chernobyl was dramatic. An explosion. Immediate danger. The Salton Sea was gradual, slow death, easy to ignore, until it was too late. Now it's too expensive to fix. So California pretends it's not there. Climate change is making it worse. The Colorado River is drying up. Less water flowing to the Salton Sea. The lake is shrinking. Every year it loses 3 feet of depth. As it shrinks, the lake bed is exposed. 400 square miles of toxic dust. When the wind blows, it spreads. To Coachella Valley, Palm Springs, Indio, cities with millions of people breathing Salton Sea dust, asthma rates rising, emergency room visits up 40%. By 2030, if nothing changes, the Salton Sea could be mostly dry, the largest source of toxic dust in North America. affecting 650,000 people, and California still has no plan. I asked someone who lives there, "Why don't you leave?" Her answer, "Where would I go?" She's 68. Lives on Social Security, $1,200 a month. Can't afford rent anywhere else in California. Her house at the Salton Sea, paid off. Bought it for $15,000 in 1985. It's worth $3,000 now. But it's hers. She'd rather die in her own home, breathing toxic air, than die homeless in LA. That's the reality. The 400 people at the Salton Sea aren't stubborn. They're trapped. By poverty. By age. By a system that abandoned them. Just like it abandoned the sea. 3 possible futures for the Salton Sea. Future 1, lithium saves it. Mining creates jobs. Money flows in. Lake restored. Probability, 15%. Future 2, managed decline. California spends $4 billion on dust suppression. Lake shrinks but controlled. Fewer die from air pollution. Probability, 30%. Future 3, complete collapse. Lake dries up. Toxic dust blankets Southern California. Public health disaster. Mass evacuations. 400 residents forced out. Probability, 55%. The most likely future? The sea dies. The people leave. And it becomes America's first major climate refugee crisis, not from a hurricane, not from wildfire, from a slow bureaucratic failure. To save a lake in the desert. The Salton Sea, California's Riviera, the miracle in the desert, 1.5 million visitors a year. Frank Sinatra. Yacht clubs. Beach resorts. Then the water turned toxic. The fish died. Everyone left. Except 400 people. Living in the ruins. Breathing poison. Waiting for help that never comes. This is what happens when we ignore environmental warnings. When profit matters more than people. When politicians make promises they never keep. The Salton Sea isn't a natural disaster. It's a policy disaster. 50 years in the making. And it's not over. By 2030, the sea could be dry. Toxic dust spreading for hundreds of miles, affecting millions. And California still has no plan. The Salton Sea is dying. And we're letting it happen. Next week, Centralia, Pennsylvania. The town that's been on fire for 62 years. 7 people refuse to leave. Subscribe to Cities Explained. Because the Salton Sea is just the beginning. See you Friday.